Hello everyone, I'm starting a new live today regarding one of the last video talking about relationship that were too intense, too deep, too familiar at first. This is something that I feel it can resonate with a lot of people. It is a paradox. Do not confuse intensity with love. The purpose of this discussion is to share personal experience, trying to generate insight and knowledge regarding this topic. Relationships are a really important part of everyone's life, and I know it's something that can take unexpected turns. I'm gonna wait until someone joins. As soon as someone is connected, feel free to say hi, to present yourself a bit. I'll put myself available for any question, any discussion regarding this topic. There's also a possibility to ask me any question outside of the topic or even about my personal life. As some of you already know, I've written a lot on the topic of relationship, but also regarding introspection, mental health. So I'm quite knowledgeable about this topic, and hopefully can provide you some guidance. Hello, I see that there is 2 people connected now, so if you can just say hi. If it's your first time on the stream, and you can present yourself. Some people, they may return from past stream, but hello Adum, where are you from? Okay, now there's 14 people, so if you are here, just say hi, present yourself briefly, where are you from, and we can start a discussion like that, very simply. You can talk about the topic of relationship, or you can ask me any question that you want regarding my personal life and regarding my personal experience for this topic. Okay. Yeah, I live in Canada. I live in the province of Ontario in Ottawa, but I grew up in Quebec. I've lived in 30 years in Quebec, and now it's been around my 4th year in Ontario. Yeah, I received a bad news. That's the reason I didn't publish any video yesterday. It's my first time applying for a master's. So I applied at University of Toronto on November 1st. And then I received a rejection letter in January. And now for my second application, I also received a rejection. So it's a bit hard, but I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna try applying for next year. It's not because it doesn't work instantly the way that I want that I should give up. And I have this quote from Winston Churchill that I constantly use when it comes to failure and success. He said, success is moving from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. I know it sounds easier than it is said. It's easy to say that, but when it comes to applying that mindset in your life, it's quite difficult. Yeah. I also want to work a little bit more in my camera presence. Right now, I'm not that comfortable on the screen. On the live stream, I feel I have absolutely no pressure. But when it comes to making video, I feel cold. I feel I'm not myself. But it's like I can use a very, very simple metaphor, and it can be applied to everything. Like, let's say you want to become a professional soccer player, and then you start to practice, and then you feel, okay, I practice, I'm bad at soccer. But what will you do? Will you give up right away? Or you will think, if I want to be good, I need to practice every day, I need to practice repeatedly, and then I'm gonna improve. So it's really what you're gonna do, how you're gonna react to failure, how you're gonna react to bad result, because everything that needs to perfection or high skill, it comes through repetition, it comes through investment, through a lot of time, a lot of practice. So it's the same thing for making video. Like, for example, just writing, for me it's easy to write. I've been writing for 10 years, but making video, it's not that easy for me. I've only started 4 or 5 months ago. So if I compare myself to all of the people that have millions of subscribers, of course I'm going to get discouraged, but I have to look at from where I started and where I am today. And I think that in your life it's probably the same thing. Like, if you want to achieve anything, you have a particular goal, you have a particular dream that you want to get, you're not going to be at the level of, hello, your best for life. Where are you from? Thank you for mentioning your name and saying hello. There are a lot of people that are watching, but I would prefer you to say hello, to say hi, so that I can know who you are, because I cannot see anyone in video. So the only way that I can see someone is when you present yourself. Hello, Sharp. And from my data, the analytics that I can get on YouTube, there's about 80% of my watchers that are men. So I know that the topic that I'm talking about, it concerns mainly men, but also as a man, I can influence other men in the same way. So there were a few women in the past team that said hi, but I know that most of my audience is men. And if I can inspire you in any kind of way, a positive way, then my mission is accomplished. I really want to inspire people to become better person. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's because you probably didn't see my video, but eventually, if you want, you can look on my profile. I'm making short video, and I'm talking about the it's a bit a mix of trauma and identity. I say that trauma destabilizes, and then isolation transforms. Because when you have a trauma, any kind of trauma, for me it was sexual abuse. When I received that trauma, my personality changed. I became completely someone different. Before the trauma, I was very energetic, outgoing, very dynamic, and then I became extremely withdrawn. I was very introvert. Initially I was extrovert, and then I became introvert. And because of that, I isolated myself. I began to read books. I was stuck in my bedroom all the time, but it transformed me, because a lot of people, when they are in their teenage years, they tend to stick with their friends. And for me, I had to learn communication again. I had to learn social skills again, because the trauma created a disruption in my life. And this is the thing that I'm talking about. And I also value the theme of growth and pain, because trauma, it can be unconscious at first, but when you start to talk with a psychologist, you become aware of the impact of the trauma on your life, and then you realize how broken you are. Because when you don't know, if you don't know that you don't know, it cannot affect you. But once you begin to know that you don't know, you are like, you need to face your demon, and it's not easy. It's something that I carry everywhere I go. My past is following me. I cannot ignore it. It's a part of who I am. So that's the thing that I'm talking about in my video. I don't know if it's clear for you or if you are still there. Right now there's one person connected, so I don't know who it is exactly. Is it your best? Is it Udum? Is it Sharp? Yeah. So where are you from, Sharp? Yeah. But yeah, the thing is, in my recent video, I maybe using too much aphorism. I'm trying to make sentence in 3 or 4 words, trying to be very very. Oh, Montreal. That's the city where I grew up. From 0 to 12, I grew up in Montreal, and that's where my trauma happened. So then after that, my family moved in Shawinigan, near Trois-Rivières. That's where I studied for university. And yeah, because like in one of my last video, I talk about how the language, the fact that when, thank you, Justin. I talk about the fact that when you move to a new province like me, yes, Toronto is my dream city. I lived 2 years there, and now I'm thinking that I'm probably gonna return to Toronto. I like the multiculturalism. I went to a Jain temple for like 6 months. I went there every week, and I love the mentality in Ontario that it's like they let everyone practice their own religion. But in Quebec, the problem is that they are becoming very, very harsh on French, and they are trying to develop a secular society. And for me, it's kind of important. Like I don't consider myself a religious person, but I can consider myself as a spiritual person. My family, I went to the church for over 20 years, and I cannot deny that it's a part of who I am. Yeah, and I really respect people that are Muslim, that are practicing their religion. I feel it's important, and I understand that it's part of your identity. But when it comes to Quebec, you cannot even wear any religious symbol. And like I learned recently that if you have a business and you have some income from that business and you are publishing even content on social media like TikTok, you cannot publish only your content in English. You have to publish your content in French as well. Otherwise, it's against the law according to the chart of the French things. Yeah, for me, it's just too much. Like I felt that it was like witch hunt against the French. And like people who are Muslim, or even people who are Sikh, that they wear like this kind of turban, and they have the kirpan. They cannot wear that if they are in a government position. So yeah. And what I've talked about in my recent video, I think that it was probably not that clear to everyone, but when I moved to Ontario, the fact that it's in English here, I feel that when you change the language, for me, it's like I have a new identity, I have a new character, I am a different person, and it helps me to cope better with the trauma. Because if I go back to Quebec and everyone speaks French, it brings me memories of my past, it brings me memories like where I was completely broken. So when I moved to Ontario, it's like I'm starting French, I'm starting a new life, even if it's just, I am in Ottawa. Like there's the bridge between Ottawa and Gatineau. It's just, you have to cross the bridge, it takes 5 minutes. You cross the bridge, everyone speaks in French in Gatineau. Then once you're in Ottawa, everyone speaks in English. It's like a very different world. Even the road sign, everything, even the restaurant, they are not the same. Yeah, and I to be honest, I really like it here, and I don't want to go back. I applied to McGill, it didn't work. I'm glad it didn't, because I didn't want to go back, and also the research there didn't really interest me. But yeah, that's how it is. Yeah, I have a friend. She's a Turkish, and she's been in Montreal for over 10 years, and even after 10 years, she doesn't speak one word of French, except maybe bonjour. But yeah, there are some people, she studied at Concordia, but there are a lot of people, and that's the thing, like the government of Quebec, they were saying that for international students at McGill and Concordia, that they must speak French before the end of their study. But that's insane. Like imagine that you're studying full time, you have to adapt to a new culture, a new country, and on top of that, they ask you to learn French. Like their ideology is like, it's extreme, because most of the people, when they are finished with their study, they will go back to their own country, or they won't necessarily stay in the province. So that's how it is, yeah. And the thing that I also found special is I went with her to the Starbucks at Concordia, and just to order coffee, like you look at the menu, and even if it's an English university, it's at Concordia, you look at the sign, you look at the menu, it's written in French in really big character. And if you want to see what's written in English, it's so small, you almost need to use a lens to see what it's written. Because I was looking at it and I was like, I cannot see, even if I'm very close, it was written so small that I wasn't able to read. And then I asked her, how do you do it? And she said, yeah, I'm used to and I understand the translation. But yeah, it's crazy. Even if it's a English university and they know that everyone speaks English there, they don't care. They're going to put the sign in French and the menu in French. Yeah, so if you're new here, I don't care if you didn't watch any of my video. Just say hi, and then we can talk about anything that you want. We can talk about the topic of relationship, of course. But if you want to ask me any question about my personal life, feel free to do so. I'm going to be happy to interact with you. And then if you are here, you can also take an opportunity to look at my previous video and see if it interests you. And if you have seen some of my video, then please tell me any comments or if you like them or not, and how can I improve if you see any critical things that you want me to consider in the future. So I'm just trying to be here because I want to talk with people. I want to know, okay, who's the people that are watching my video. Even if you didn't watch my video, that's not really important. I just want to talk with people that are concerned about the topic that I talk, and because I think that relationship, it affects everyone. So if you are in any way concerned by the theme of this live, then please participate, and I will be very happy to interact with you. And yeah, I'm just trying to be helpful to any of you. So please present yourself, say hi if you can. You don't have to mention exactly your location. You know that this stream are recorded, so if you mention too many personal details, some people can see them. So I don't want you to reveal too much about yourself. I just want to have a general idea of who you are, and yeah, to interact with you. So if you are new here, just say hi, present yourself, and I will be very happy to interact with you, to talk with you in any kind of way. I don't have a lot of experience doing stream. It's probably my third week so far, and yeah, I think that I will improve over time. But I kind of enjoy it because it never happened that there were absolutely no people watching. So even if it's just 2 or 3 people, I know that I'm not speaking in vain, and trying to learn and trying to improve. And the more that I do it, the better I will be. And that's the reason why I'm here, to provide value for you, to be helpful. I've done therapy for more than 15 years. I don't pretend to be a therapist or a psychologist. I'm just trying to share my own experience as a psychiatric patient. And my uniqueness is that I studied in biomedical science, so I understand the scientific aspect of medication, and I am a veteran as well. So there are a lot of people from the military that have problem with mental health after they leave the military. So I have a unique set of experience, and I hope that this can resonate with you, and yeah, can also share about your personal life. I was talking with someone in the previous stream that he wanted to join the military, and since I've been in the military, I was very well positioned to guide him and share my own experience so that he could take a better informed decision or whether or not he would join the military in the future. So that's how my personal experience can really be helpful for some people. And I'm kind of a person that, even though I was diagnosed with a mental illness, bipolar, I'm a very optimistic, a very positive person, and I'm not going to complain. I'm going to try to motivate others. I'm going to try to push others, people to go upward. Yeah, if if you're posting in Arabic, unfortunately, I cannot say anything. I don't understand. So if you can talk, if you can translate your thought in English, then I would be happy to interact with you. Except from salam, I don't know anything in Arabic. I know the Ramadan is until March 19, as far as I know. So it's about to be over. It's going to be in like 3 or 4 days. I know the people that are fasting, it must be really difficult. And I really admire your discipline and your diligence, your commitment to do the Ramadan. I think it's really important. Brings you closer to God and okay, now everyone left, so I'm gonna wait until someone returns, please. Thank you for joining so far. There were a few people that connected, and I'm very happy that I've been able to interact with a few people so far. Yeah, you are here. Thank you. Where are you from? Yeah, the thing is that you said you are here, but I like on the top of the screen I see zero connected. That's why I didn't know. And I'm happy that you are here, man. Oh, you're from Canada? Okay. Are you living in Quebec? Are you living in Ontario? You don't have to mention the specific city, but like just to have a general idea. Because, oh, you are in Quebec? Okay, that's good. Yeah, because there are so many Arabic that come from the Maghreb, like in North of Africa, like a country from like Algeria, Tunisia, Morocco, and they can speak French. And I met many people at my university. They are Muslim, but they speak Arabic, but they can also speak French. And it's different from other countries like in the Middle East that almost no one speaks French there. Rakan. What does it mean in Arabic, Rakan? That I really like to know the meaning of name. I've learned recently that David in Hebrew meant beloved. I didn't know. I always assumed that it was, oh, David, it comes from the Bible and like the king in the Bible. That's all I knew. But yeah, when you search about the meaning, and I went to the bank recently and there was a guy and then I asked him, what's the meaning of your name? And he was a Muslim guy, and he told me that he told me the meaning, and I was like, oh, this is very interesting. Oh, you don't know much Arabic? Okay. Yeah, it's not because your family is Arabic that you necessarily know how to speak. Like even the calligraphy, it's like, for me, it looks really beautiful. But it's very different from English or French. The script is it's not the same at all. I tried to take a couple of classes, but I end up focusing on Chinese and Korean. 9 years old. You're 8. Okay. 6, 8, 9. Okay. In Quebec, yeah. Yeah, I know that in Quebec they complain a bit because there are some Muslims who pray on the streets, and yeah, the population are not very tolerant there. And in Toronto, there was this huge march in downtown for Iran. Yeah. Ah, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate Rakan, that you are doing this. Yeah, the thing is that my stream are not very long. As of now, it's only 30 minutes. So probably in the future, I will try to make them longer. But right now, I don't want to overcommit. Yeah. I wanted to make video every day. Like I started this resolution. Okay, I'm gonna make a video every day. I started to do this on February 19. Then yesterday, when I received my rejection, I was like, rejection letter from the university. I was a bit discouraged, and I was like, I'm not in the mood to make a video, so I have to stop. Yeah, it's good that you are here. I really appreciate you, and also that you have subscribed. It's very good. Yeah. I'm just trying to be helpful. And there was someone the other day, he was from the UAE. And there are people from all over the world that are watching. There was someone from Malaysia. There was someone from the UK. And yeah, it's nice to see that, because I thought at first that it would only be people from Canada. Oh, if you're watching right now, just say hi. Where are you from? But no, there are people from all over the world. That's great. That's great, man. That's great that you have found me. Yeah. Yeah, the thing is, I didn't know that at first, but YouTube can push my video to people outside of my subscriber. At first, I thought that it would only be for my subscriber, but now I realize that no, it can be outside of my network. So it gives me an opportunity to promote my content to people that don't know me yet. And yeah, I'm quite happy of this. I'm trying to be not only the person that prepares video scripted, but the person that is available for people to answer their question and provide meaningful interaction with them. Because it's very different when you produce video and when you are present. Like right now, I am available live, and it's like if you had a conversation with me and you are in front of me and I'm just talking to you, and it's a very, very different feeling than if it was already scripted, already recorded in advance. And there is also this interaction that you can get. Oh, meow meow. I can speak a bit of Chinese. I did HSK3 a few years ago. I have two or three friends that I talk regularly in China, but they only talk with me in English because they want to practice their English. 你好，我很高兴认识你，我是大卫，你呢? I said, hello, I am very happy to meet you. I am David. And I really like the Chinese language. For me, and also the China, the history, 5,000 years of history. The architecture is so beautiful. It's so rich and diverse. Hi, Mr. Boeing. Thank you so much, Rakan. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I have a schedule. So every Monday and Saturday at 7 p.m., I'm doing a stream. This stream, I didn't announce it very in advance, but if you look at the description in my channel, I say that I'm available at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Yeah. Yeah, it's really cool that you are from China. I didn't study Chinese in a while, but yeah, I do want to continue because I've spent more than 2 years studying it full time. I was learning with a school in Toronto during the COVID, and yeah, I was very amazed by the beauty of the language as well. Like Arabic and Chinese and Korean, for me, like the script is really beautiful. It's a cool language. Yeah, so if you are here as well, like the stream is gonna end very soon. It's not because I want to be rude or something, but like once the stream is over, if you just can take a look at one of my videos. It's short videos, and it's gonna be a 20-second max. Thank you so much. Yeah, I was dating a Chinese recently, and she said the same thing. And like when I'm dating, most of the time I get some Chinese because on my dating profile, I write sentence in Chinese, and to be honest, I would like to have a Chinese girlfriend because I could practice more, and I already know a lot about the culture, way more than people who are not exposed. And yeah, there are people that just follow what the Western media say about China, so they don't know the reality of Chinese. Now, when I tried to apply for medical school about 10 years ago at McGill, the people that helped me the most, they were Chinese, and I realized how much they were smart and disciplined and serious about what they were doing, and it really made a great impact on me. And then when COVID happened, and then people, they were blaming the Chinese, and at that time the problem is that it was not only that people were blaming the Chinese, is that they could not distinguish between any other Asian. So they would mistake a Thai, a Vietnamese, a Taiwanese for a Chinese, and then everyone that looked Asian would be blamed for being a Chinese and for being responsible for the virus. And then I felt moved internally, like I had a lot of empathy because I had personal experience with Chinese people. And then I was feeling this is not true. That's not who they are. And I had a lot of free time. I am a veteran. I am from the military, and I started to learn Chinese. And I also had a Chinese girlfriend at the time. And the more I knew about the culture, the more I became fascinated and passionate about it. And here we always talk about in the Western media that, oh, China is not a democracy. And I don't want to delve too much into politics, but what I can say is that it's not because the political system is different that the value is bad. And yeah, that's the thing that I wanted to say. I'm not emotional when I'm saying this. I'm trying to be objective. And yeah, I really respect the Chinese people. And yeah, now it has been, I know what you wrote, Rakan. Yeah, exactly, because I have many friends from Asian countries, and it's the same. Like if you say Africa is not a country, it's a continent. There's like more than 50 countries there, and it's the same for Asia. Like you can be Japanese, you can be Thai, you can be Viet, you can be from any other country in Asia. It doesn't mean that if you are Asian that you are Chinese. So. I feel this is for me, this is a lack of respect. Like I see it, and when I interacted with my professor in Korean as well, like I've learned Korean at least 200 hours of teaching lesson, and I can only say 안녕하세요, 감사합니다. I cannot say that much, but I've learned a lot. It's just that I didn't pass the threshold that I'm comfortable in speaking. But yeah, I'm gonna leave there. It has been really nice to see that someone who is Chinese connected. It's the first time now, and yeah, I really respect you, and thank you also, Rakan, for your kindness. It's very rare that someone tells me that he subscribed. I know that on my first stream, and every stream after the first one, I always add at least one subscriber. And yeah, I'm happy when I can see that people get interested in my content. Yeah, it's important. Mathematics is very important. Some people say that mathematics is boring, but the thing is that even if you don't see the application right away at school, it's gonna make sense a bit later. That's how you can build. You can do architecture. You can do engineering. Oh, you know some Korean? Okay. Yeah, I can read a bit. But the thing is that in Korean, there are a lot of words that they are the same as in English, because when the Korean language was invented, a lot of the words, like for example, computer, it didn't exist. So instead of inventing a new words for computer, they just use the English words, and they use the Korean script for writing the language, for writing the word. And also in Korean, you probably know this, but for number, they use two sets of number. They use Sino-Korean and Korean. So Sino-Korean is Chinese and Korean together. And Korean is depending on the situation, Korean will use Sino-Korean number, and in other situation, they will use Korean. So even in the Korean language, the Chinese influence is very present. So that's interesting. That's one interesting fact to know. Yeah, you need to practice. You have to take this seriously, the mathematics, because it's like I said. A lot of people, they say that they don't like mathematics, but it's actually very important. And even if you go to Cégep afterwards, you probably will go to Cégep if you want to go to university. And mathematics will be important because mathematics will be the foundation for physics. And because physics is like the study of nature, but using mathematical equation. So you will really need mathematics. You cannot forget it. You have to become good at it, even if you don't like it. And it's the same thing for me. I didn't do any mathematics for 15 years. And I'm trying to apply in a master program. It's called bioinformatics. And I need mathematics, I need computer science, and I've never done that in my life. It's difficult for me because I'm better with people. I'm better with the psychological. I'm good with emotional and social intelligence. But when it comes to being alone in front of the computer, it's really hard. But I need to do it because it's going to help me to learn biology deeply. I'm going to see biology differently because of that. So computer science will become a tool to understand nature, to understand biology. So it's the same way for you, Ricken. Like mathematics will be a tool to do whatever you want to do later. And focus on that. Try to be good. And I don't know if you were there when I talk about it, like the metaphor of the soccer player. Like imagine a soccer player, you want to become a professional soccer player. Then you start to kick a ball and then you say, I'm bad at soccer, I'm really bad. And then if you leave it at that and then you say, okay, I'm bad in soccer, then you will never have the opportunity to improve. But if you want to be good, you have to say, yeah, I'm not good right now, but I'm going to practice and eventually I will be better. Yeah, Meow, I grew up in Quebec. And it's my 4th year in Ontario now. So I was born in the Repentigny. That's the exact city. It's near Montreal. But I lived about 12 years in Montreal. And then after that, I went to a city. It's called Shawinigan. That's where the Prime Minister of Canada, Jean Chrétien, he's from there. And I studied at the Université du Québec at Trois-Rivières in French. So Trois-Rivières, it's between Quebec City and Montreal. And then recently, I went 2 years into Toronto, and now I'm doing 2 years in Ottawa. I plan to return in Toronto. I really love Toronto. There are just so many culture. And I took my classes in Chinese at Toronto Chinese Academy during the COVID. So there's a lot of Chinese people in Toronto as well. Yeah. I like it there. Oh, you are in Ontario? Okay. Yeah, I've dated a couple of women in Ottawa that were Chinese, and in Toronto I met my girlfriend there. Yeah, just don't forget what I said, Rakan. Like focus on mathematics. Even if you feel that it's hard, try to become good at it. It's really important. I wish that someone would have told me this when I was younger. I became good at it, but I should have focused more on it. Yeah. Yeah, you are in Ontario. Like the culture is very different in Ontario and Quebec. And I have some friends that are Chinese. Like when I was living in Quebec, they were doing some language exchange, so they wanted to learn French. And I also did the same thing with a woman in Los Angeles. She wanted to learn French, and I was teaching her French. She was teaching me Chinese, and doing that, I had the opportunity to meet many people and teach a little bit of French. But to be honest, like the grammar in French, it's so confusing. There are some grammar rule that even if it's my mother tongue, I teach it to someone, and then right away I forget. And I am quite popular in writing, and I never write in French because I would make too many mistakes. Even in Cégep, like when you have to write essays in the French literature class, and for every mistakes that you made grammatically, you lose 1%. I was so bad because I was making a lot of mistakes, and it's my first language. So imagine the people who are not that educated, for them they struggle a lot because the language, it has so many exceptions. We have gender in nouns, so every time that you see a noun, it's gonna be a masculine or feminine. No, I don't need French anymore. I live in Ontario, and we don't. In Ottawa, some people will speak French, but they will never start in French. Yeah, I grew up as a Pentecostal, so I went to church for 20 years in a Christian Pentecostal church. So and then when I got diagnosed with bipolar at 21, a lot of people in the church, they were telling me, "Oh, God will heal you," and then over the time nothing happened, and then the psychiatrists, like, they were a bit against religion, so they tried to put me outside of the church, and then I began to question myself, and I began to read about philosophy, psychology, and sociology, and it was also with my interaction with the psychologist that I had at the time. And then I was trying to understand my place in the world. Right now, I cannot say that I am atheist because it's part of who I am to go to church, to believe in a certain divinity. Riff John, no, it's not. And actually, when I did this, I asked my sister about it, and she said, "You look English." So I have also been mistaken as a Russian person. Some people said that I look like a Spanish. So it really depends on your own influence, on your own perception, from your own perspective. I just do it because for me, I'm trying to use the scarf as a signature, as a marketing tool, as a way that it's something that it represents my identity. It's a visual identity. It's something that it's a symbol, and it's a way that, like, when you see me, you're thinking, okay, this is the guy with the scarf. And I've tried to order a really, really expensive scarf a few months ago because I love scarf, and I bought it, and then I was told, no, it's not available anymore, and then I will never be able to get it again because that company, they make a collection. So for every season, they have a collection, and once it's gone, it's gone. And I was a bit disappointed. But scarf has always been very important for me. It was not just something because it protects me from the cold winter of Quebec or Ontario. It was because it looked good. That's what I found. And the color, like in China, red is an important color as well. And it's the color of the fire, it's the color of the passion, it's the color of the dragon. It's the imperial China. It's really, it means something. And since Chinese, I would say it's my third language. I've spent a lot of time learning it. Yeah, it's part of who I am. And yeah. If you look at my banner on YouTube, the color are black and green. At that time, these colors reflected my idea, my identity. But right now, it's more about red and gold. So eventually, I will make another banner to define my identity. But right now, I'm not ready. Okay, I've done a lot of overtime. Usually my streams are supposed to last 30 minutes, but I did a little more today, and I'm happy that I did. I did not regret it, but I will leave right now. It has been 45 minutes. I'm going to be back on Monday, so the schedule is every Monday and Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you everyone for joining. I'm very happy to see you here. I don't know too much about SMI. I'm going to look at it. Hey, thank you, John. Have a nice weekend as well. Bye bye, and take care, and hopefully see you next time.